Good morning, everyone. It's so good to see everybody. I'm really loving that you're all here in the room. I see waves. Thank you for that. I said if I didn't get reactions from you guys and you're all frowning, I was going to say something to get you to wake up and hang out with me today. So I'm really excited about talking today. I know you're wondering, what is a breakout city? And I think if you're paying attention to what's going on in Wilmington right now, that you'll know that we are a breakout city. But I'm going to help define it a little bit more as we go along. But first, I got to take you back several years to Hurricane Florence. You guys remember? Those of you who were here remember it felt like we ran into a wall, right? Well, it was a wall of 3 days of rain, right? And so the damage that was done to humans, to buildings, to businesses was catastrophic. And it was scary. But we picked ourselves up. We got together, agencies, the business community, the nonprofits, and the governmental departments all got together and figured out, what are we going to do to recover? And so we worked on solutions for the flooding. We worked on cleaning up the debris, right? Do you remember? I was out in my yard with my neighbors. We were all cleaning each other's debris. And the thing that I remember the most about what happened with Hurricane Florence were those walls of debris down your neighborhood streets, right? It took a long time because there was a lot of debris to pick up. The challenge is about business recovery. And what I learned, because I had never been the CEO of a chamber in a community that had been hit by a natural disaster, so I had no idea what to do for my community. So I went to school on figuring out, how do I help businesses recover? How do I find out what businesses need to recover? And so we divided up the chamber membership list, 850 members, chamber staff made calls for those first few days after Hurricane Florence. And we contacted everybody. We heard from almost everybody. But let me put that in perspective for you. There are over 10,000 small businesses in New Hanover County. And we didn't call all of them, not because we didn't want to, but because the volume was so large and we didn't know them. They weren't chamber members. We still cared about their recovery. And they can join the chamber. We don't mind that at all. But at that time, they were not members. And so I started working with a lot of agencies in our community, as well as the city and the county, and trying to determine what we could do to help business recover faster during that recovery, but in the future. And so then I want to give you this timeline, right? So we get through 2018, which is almost all about just finding out who needed help. And then 2019, the agencies, the business community came together and created the New Hanover Disaster Coalition, which, by the way, is still working behind the scenes, coordinating the agencies that respond to disasters to help people recover. They're still working together to make sure there is the infrastructure in place to respond the next time a disaster occurs. And thank goodness they were, because when we started 2020 and I thought 2020 was going to be our breakout year. I really did. I was running into 2020 ready to just explode because I saw what had been happening before I got to Wilmington in 2017 and what had been happening since I got here. So I really was optimistic about 2020. And then COVID hit, right? We all went home. We saw each other on video screens. Thank goodness we're seeing each other in person today. I'm really happy about that. And so that Disaster Recovery Coalition, the New Hanover Disaster Coalition, got back together, started responding to help people who needed it. And so did the city and the county and the CIE and the SBTDC and Genesis Block. And I could go on and on and on and talk about the agencies that started talking about how are we going to make sure our businesses recover. Because as much as this has been a pandemic, it's been an economic crisis, right? I'm happy to tell you that we're figuring it out. Oh, how did that slide get there? I'm not sure why. There's a picture of our bridge, except that it does need replacing, in case you haven't heard. So in partnership with New Hanover County, the team there, we created at the Chamber a business retention and expansion program. The goals are pretty simple. We want to proactively connect with existing businesses to understand and to respond to their needs. We want to improve the business climate overall and ensure competition remains healthy. And then goal number 3 is to help provide quality jobs and employment opportunities and assist in stabilizing the economy. We've got great large employers in Wilmington and in our region: GE, Corning, PPD, Thermo Fisher, the hospital, New Hanover County, the city of Wilmington. They're all phenomenal employers, and all of them, as large employers over here, don't employ as many people as all of our small businesses do over here. And so if we're not taking care of small businesses, We're not making sure there are jobs available for everybody who needs them especially when we're coming out of a disaster. So that's what this program is all about. I want you to meet my friend Josh Hallingsey. He's in the audience if you'd like to connect with him today. He joined our team back in November, came from the western part of the state. We had to recruit hard. I have to say Brian got lucky at that. Brian Clark got lucky because he recruited Josh's wife when they came to town. So we both have a benefit of the Hallingsey family. But Josh is going to lead this program so that we can connect with businesses and be sure we're helping them identify the resources that they need. It could be an entrepreneur that needs the CIE, or an entrepreneur that needs Genesis Block, or new, or it could be somebody who needs SBTDC. They've just thought of an idea. We got an email just yesterday of someone looking for a way to start a business, and we will connect them with those resources. It might be that it's a regulatory issue and they don't know how to solve the problem. An example I've used from my days in Charlotte when I ran the BRE program in Charlotte is there was a manufacturer that was always struggling to get his second shift started on time. And I just happened to be making that BRE visit and I said, I don't understand. Well, what is it? He said, I don't know either, but my team can't get in the parking lot on time. I've told them to leave earlier and they can't get in. Turns out there's a school down the street. The second shift started about the same time that school let out, this elementary school, and the carpool line got in the way. So I called Charlotte DOT and said, can we put a light here? This is really impactful to this company because, as you know, in manufacturing, time is money. So we put a light in. That guy was so happy. He had not been a member of the Charlotte Chamber, but it was a BRE visit. And we needed to do whatever we could to make sure businesses continue to grow. I promise you, before this is over, I'm going to explain to you why a bridge is a part of a breakout city, I promise. So when it comes to relocations, it's not new that the southeastern United States is a place where people want to relocate. We have a great climate, housing, and other things are more affordable than other parts of the country, and so people are coming here. Then you fast forward to during and post-pandemic, and we're starting to see even more people. If you can choose to live wherever you want to and have the same job, why wouldn't you want to live in Wilmington, right? So we are starting to see growth in that area, and more people are coming here. We need to take advantage of that. I didn't realize when I moved here how many people were already remote working here for companies in the Triangle. It was that simple to do. So I think we need to do economic development with intentionality. We need to focus on people. People are a critical component. Actually, the most critical component for a business is access to talent. So we need to make sure we're partnering with education institutions and with others who help develop our workforce. We also need to stay insanely focused on the diversity, inclusion, and equity efforts that we are doing in this community, thanks to the African American Business Council and the Latin American Business Council and the work that they are doing to help us all understand that part of our economy. We also need to focus on who do we want here, right? And we have done that in the past. We did that, and WBD and WDI have paid attention to those target industries. It's time to redo, and thankfully the county is partnering with Robin Spinks to do just that. What are the industries we want to attract that match the talent that we can develop, that also match what we want in this community? We have natural resources that can lead to certain industries, and so we're excited about working with them on that. And then finally, we need leadership. We need bold leadership. I expect every single one of you to walk away from here thinking about how can I provide leadership that will lead to a breakout city. We business leaders have got to be sure we're electing leaders who will make good decisions to support the growth that we know we need in our economy. And when they make those tough decisions, because sometimes they're hard, we need to be prepared to stand up and say, thank you, Commissioner Hayes. Thank you, Mayor Sappho. Thank you, Commissioner Rivenbark. Those of you in this room that I did not see before I got up here, thank you for the service that you provide. Thank you for sacrificing your life. And thank you for making bold decisions that will help us to continue to grow our economy. Thank you for the ones you've already made, because I don't know about you guys, but if we weren't renourishing our beaches and we hadn't invested in a river walk that looks fantastic, and don't even get me started about the concerts at the Riverfront Park Live Oak Bank Amphitheater. Those are important decisions, and sometimes they're really tough ones. And I encourage you, I urge you to stand up and support our elected officials in that. So we'd love to have you join us. You can learn more about our work at wilmingtonchamber.org. You can call me or any of my rock star teams at the Chamber because they are rock star team members. And then finally, you want to know why? You want to know why? Because we need a new bridge. And so that's one of those leadership decisions I was talking about. I need you guys to help me make sure we're reaching across the river to make sure they understand that bridge won't accommodate the 80,000 cars a day we're expecting to cross it in less than 10 years. And so if we don't get together and figure out how we solve that issue, we will be behind and we won't be able to continue being the breakout city that I know we can be. Thank you.